The announcement was over a month ago now. I think it's time we admit that Sonic Superstars looks kinda mid. When they dropped a trailer out of nowhere, it was nothing but hype. But even being a huge Sonic fan myself, I felt kinda indifferent. A new 2D Sonic game sounds awesome. Mania is peak Sonic, but it's not gonna play anything like Mania. Despite their efforts, Sonic Team couldn't agree on a collaboration with Christian Whitehead and Headcanon, and they were the main reason that game came out so good. Those teams grew up as fans of the classics, and they understand what makes them so great better than even the original developers do. Instead of those guys, the developer Arzest was put in charge of the game, and Mr. Oshima, who's best known for his work on Sonic 1 and CD, would lead the project. On paper, that sounds like a perfect fit, but the problem is, he's only one guy, and the team as a whole is best known for making Yoshi's New Island, Hey Pikmin, and Balan Wonderworld. Not a very good track record. This is simply not as talented of a team as the one that made Mania. They can show that Sonic seamlessly going back and forth all they want, but it's not gonna feel the same for the player, I'll tell you that. I've just seen this one too many times before. They bait in old school Sonic fans with an HD looking classic Sonic game, and it turns out to suck. Sonic 4 was ass, Sonic Generations was good, but the 2D levels were kind of a bore, and the ones in Forces were actively painful to play. Sonic Mania is the exception here, not the rule, and with a different team in charge of this game, I've gotta say, I'm pretty concerned. Now, Sonic Team is overseeing the project, but they also oversaw that, so take that for what it's worth. The most reassuring thing I've seen is probably this tweet from Christian Whitehead. I don't know if that's really what he thinks, or if Sega's just like, you like this, shh, but it is something. I'm going off what my eyes tell me though, and it's not all that good. They might make me totally eat my words here, but I genuinely hope that's the case. Right now though, it's not looking like it. The coolest thing they revealed was that there's going to be 4 playable characters, Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Amy, who each have unique traits that look like they shake up the gameplay a ton. What has me the most excited though, is the fact that the game's going to support local co-op. That's something we've never gotten in the past, and it's awesome to see. I grew up on Sonic Adventure 2's Battle Mode, and just wished I could play the main campaign with friends, so that finally being a possibility is huge. I'm just worried about how well it'll work in execution. Like, maybe there's a reason they haven't done it yet. Sonic's gameplay is known for speed, and with more players, it's going to be harder for everyone to stay on the same page, so that's gonna slow things down. That's fine with me. I'm all for a steeper learning curve and more replayability, but I worry they tried to quote fix that by dumbing down the level design in an attempt to keep it accessible. If they see the multiplayer as a big selling point for the game, which I think they do, they might have built the levels differently than they would have otherwise, and strayed away from what makes a good Sonic level. Taking creative liberty with an IP isn't always a bad thing, but when it's A, taken to conform the game, and B, taken by a team with a sketchy track record, it's kinda worrisome. Again, please prove me wrong. I'd love to see levels with tons of different routes, some that reward knowledge of the level, and others that are more platform heavy for those that don't have things figured out yet. I want to see obstacles that have multiple ways of being conquered, methods that vary depending on who you're playing as. That would build the replayability so much, and would keep players switching characters all the time for a fresh experience. I'm fairly convinced it's leaning toward the simple side though, thanks to the amount of gameplay gimmicks they've shown already. Now, every Sonic game has some of those one-off sections, you know, your snowboarding levels and plane stages, but the fact that they're showing it off this early leads me to believe that they may be trying to hide lackluster core gameplay. Being able to run on background walls and go up waterfalls is neat, but like, the Storm of Clones, the pixelated squid looking section, come on, I'm getting Wisp flashbacks here and I'm not liking it. I gotta say though, I really like that there's gonna be 12 new zones, and not just the same recycled ones we've been getting. That's a good sign. Even Mania reused tons of old levels, so seeing something new, even if it is just Great Value Seaside Hill and Clancy Casino Night, they're trying to be more creative, so I'll give them props. Also, the graphics as a whole look stellar. The character models are crisp, the environments are lively as ever, and the animations are super fluid and nice to look at, with tons of expression. Honestly, I wouldn't change a thing about how the game looks, and that's all we can be certain about without actually playing the game yet.
They're like new Super Mario Brothers in this game.
As soon as it was announced, people were comparing it to New Super Mario Bros. It's got 4-player co-op and a protagonist. Yeah, that argument's pretty thin right now, but if this game could lay a foundation half as good as Mario Bros. DS did, it'd be a major success for Sonic. For as much crap as the series gets, New Super Mario Bros. Has a consistent quality. The games are fun. They don't go outside the box at all, but they're consistent. A trait the Sonic series hasn't had since the 90s. If they conform a bit and make a more standard 2D platformer, it would probably sell better. And while long term it wouldn't be a great thing, it's helping restore his reputation from a joke in gaming to a somewhat valuable IP. Sonic's been trying to emulate whatever works in the industry for years now. Fishing games, hack and slashes, open worlds, hell, even 2D platformers, so it's probably happening again. Mario, on the other hand, is Mr. Quality, and that's why Mario Wonder is such a perfect looking installment in the Mario series in 2023. And if you want to learn more about why exactly that is, check out the video there. Thanks for watching.